So one thing I've been playing with recently, have either of you guys used TubeBuddy at all?
No.
No. It's a tool, a companion to your YouTube website. That's their kind of pitch, is that they help you grow a YouTube website through a whole bunch of different little assistants inside the YouTube interface. So it's a plugin for your browser, plugs into Chrome, and then next time you open up your YouTube channel, it shows all of these little overlays, essentially. So it's one of these plugins that changes the page live. So you're loading up your, whether it's the whole channel, and it puts little stats all over the place, little buttons in different areas. I can talk about a few of them in a sec. Or if you're on a video page, it adds like loads of different elements to the video page as well that you can play with. So it's really cool. And the pitch is, yeah, like I said, around growing your audience and assisting you in workflow as well and getting stuff out there. And there's a few things in there I've been playing with, which I've found really useful over the last couple of weeks. One in particular, I was trying to find a way to do some thumbnail testing, some A/B testing on our thumbnails. So the more I read into the algorithm, the more I play with YouTube, the more I realize how powerful the thumbnails are. I mean, it's kind of obvious, but actually it has a huge effect on the click-through from the search. And therefore, it makes a lot of sense if we can manage to test them as well, do A/B testing, test this versus that, different styles, different approaches. But I've never found a way to do that in an easy way before, other than go in there and manually change it a week later. But then it's a different part in the publishing life cycle, so it's not really comparable, you know, week 2 versus week 1. But with TubeBuddy, it actually has this built in now. So I can upload a couple of different thumbnails. I can set a test period just before I publish the video, and I can say over the first 2 weeks, keep swapping the thumbnails. I think it just does this entirely manually. Like it literally just swaps the thumbnail every hour or half a day or something like that. Yeah, totally. But it does it manually, and you can say, right, do that for the first week, the first 2 weeks. And so I've got that running just now, and it gives you some great stats, actually. So it's just showing up like this thumbnail's better than that thumbnail. I've already got some insights into, you know, it does actually make it more effective generally. I've been trying, for example, to do AI generated ones. So it makes it so much simpler if I don't have to include my face on the thumbnail. And I thought maybe some nice AI images would work nicely, but it's back to what you'd expect. A human face on it actually does have quite a big effect on it. So can't take the shortcut, sadly. But it was really good to actually, it was really good to test that. So yeah, it was good to be able to actually put some numbers behind that. And the other thing I'm playing with, there's so much in here. I'll maybe come back to this over the next couple of months as I get deeper into it. But the other one just now is actually, it has some great tools in there for coming up with ideas. So it can analyze your channel, it can look at some competitors, and it can start to bring out, here's some topics that are related to your niche, your sector, that seem to be doing well elsewhere. So it's a bit of competitive analysis, a bit of keyword analysis. Here's some ideas like for your videos this week. And actually, I've just picked up some of them and used them in the last little while. So it's been really good just playing with it, actually. Yeah. So yeah, it's been useful.
It's like a whole layer of extra data on top, essentially, that you're not really getting just from default YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, I've got the like the keywords everywhere plugin for Chrome, which is really handy for search. So it sounds like it's kind of like keywords everywhere, but for YouTube.
That's
right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it just gives you that extra insight, and you can do it on other people's channels as well. So you can see like what, again, a bit of competitive analysis, like what topics are standout videos on their channel compared to the average, which kind of shows here's something that's really engaging, here's something that's really in demand right now. Yeah. Are you guys doing much with YouTube, Mathilde?
At Circle or myself?
Yeah.
Both?
Or either.
Yeah. I mean, myself, not much. I had a short stint when I was going to Thailand doing Muay Thai and Thai boxing. I was trying to kind of like share a bit about my journey some years ago, but didn't really pick up. At Circle, we're starting. Yes, we are starting to, because we have a lot of great content talks that we host at our summit. We just had our biggest summit, the Creator Catalyst Summit, for 3 days this week. So we're starting to just really use YouTube as a way to host our sessions after the fact, right? So people can find them. But we're just getting started. So our marketing team is just really thinking about what's next. And how do we use how can we use YouTube as a channel, knowing that we have all the channels already? We're starting also our own podcasts. We have a customer community where a lot of content exists. So yeah, that's kind of work in progress, let's say.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Was there any different angles? Did you talk about your sort of stuff in the Miro, sorry, Matilda? I've never used Miro at all. Was there
really interesting.
anything you think that suits more than FigJam, for example?
Yeah, no, for me, it was really about just, again, I find it interesting how some tools are around for so long, for years, maybe you use them for one use case here and there, and then all of a sudden it takes people around you who start using it more for you to be like, wait a second, like it has evolved a lot. There's just a lot more than it was able to do before. And that's what happened with Miro. There's been a bit of a trend at Circle and internally where some people have just built really cool Miro boards. And that makes you think, wow, I want to build a cool Miro board too, to just share my strategy for the year, or like retrospective for teams, stuff like that, collaboration type meetings. I used to use Miro for that for a while, but just this idea of like replacing the presentation and I find it pretty freeing, and it's very flexible, right? Instead of being there in your Google Slides or in your whatever you're using for slides, just being able to have this blank canvas and being able to use different types of elements to convey your ideas or to collaborate with others when you are presenting. So that's the main point that I wanted to share.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a really interesting topic, actually. I think it relates to some of the world of creating as well. Like when we're creating software, like you do with Circle, like we do with Alitu, the evolution you go through over years and how software can change, not just like a new feature that adds to what you have existing, but even a different angle or taking a different tack or changing audience targeting a little bit, like how you communicate that to people that already have a perception in their head of who you are and what you do, like how you can change that. I think that's really tricky, actually. Is that something you've wrestled with at all? With Circle?
Oh yeah, I mean, Circle is changing so rapidly, and of course, we started as a community platform for creators. Now you can bring your discussions, your content, start memberships, like all in one place. But now we're so much more than that. You can host entire summits and live events on Circle. We can use those events as a way to attract members or to turn subscribers or followers into members, and so we're in the midst of it. Actually, I think we are doing a lot of great work to communicate, to obviously make sure that people know the things that Circle are enable to tell the stories of our creators, just like you guys, right? Of what the really amazing things they do with Circle and with their businesses and their audiences and communities. But I think, it's going to take a while for us to see the benefits, the fruits of that. And I think there's always, this push and pull kind of thing where you doing as much as you can, you communicating, you having your product announcement, your customer education and all of that. But then there's probably a different timeline that people are on where they're discovering the tool, where they are using it for different use cases. And we're always also discovering new use cases from our customers and our customer community. And so it's always this push and pull of like, this is the message that we want to share. This is the way our tool has evolved. But it's also, how do we pay attention to what people are doing with it and how that also informs how we evolve and what we build.